Okay, so this video is to show you the scanner option for the Blue Yellow 2 test. The different components you need are a scanner with a grid cover that will separate the individual blue-yellow plates, a cover that will cover the plates, the color calibration card, the USB dongle which controls the software program. Here we'll be showing you how to interpret a completed Blue Yellow 2 plate, a full plate of 96 wells, and the software program. Okay, so to launch the software program once installed, when you click on the icon and you have your scanner turned on, it'll automatically search for your scanner, and if you do not have your hardware key in the computer, it will give you an error message. Once it's successfully scanned and found your scanner, it will give you a login screen. So the username and password is in the operator manual, and it can be changed by the operator once you've launched the software. The username is the word admin, A-D-M-I-N, and the password is 1234. Once you've logged in, the first thing you're going to do is take the calibration card and calibrate the scanner based on this color spectrum. So what we'll need to do is take the cover and the grid off of the scanner, and taking the color calibration card, you want to hold it and put it face down on the side of the scanner. So take the card with the woman's face towards the back and down right in the middle of the scanner face. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Close the scanner lid, and on the computer we're going to go to your file option and then go to scanner calibration and then hit the start button. So once it's scanned the color calibration key, you're going to see the image on the screen has all these yellow boxes that are superimposed directly over each color. And if it didn't align correctly, the yellow boxes will be off center compared to the different color squares. So you'll select the next button prompt, and it will save the calibration for that particular scanner, and then you should get a successful message. Once you hit OK, you can hit the button that says Home Page to go back to the beginning of the software. So once the calibration is successful, you can remove the color calibration card. And what we're going to do is add the grid back to the scanner cover. And what we want to do is align it to the bottom corner. The scanner faceplate has a little arrow where you want to line up a piece of paper if you're going to scan a document. So here with the grid, you want to align that in that corner. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take a completed plate, okay, that's been run. I'm just going to run one plate as an example, and the plate frame itself has numbers. So we're going to put the first plate in this top left quadrant, the second plate in the top right, the third in the bottom left, fourth in the bottom right. What we want to do is when we lay the plate grid over the plate, there's a beveled corner, and we want to align that with the beveled corner of your plate, and that way it'll sit properly over the plate. So place it down, align it in that bottom right corner, and then we're going to take the plate cover and cover that plate so that when we scan the plate, no ambient room light will interfere with the interpretation of your result. So on the software screen, we have a button that says Select Plate to Scan. So we'll select this button, and we're going to here add in the information, the sample information, the plate information, and by hitting the New button, we can put in serial number or plate identification, the date the plate was run. So for a plate ID, I'm just going to type in the word example, And you can put comments, identify who ran the test, and then over on the right under sample ID, you can actually type in the different samples that were run, whether it was a farm sample, a cow sample, a particular sample from a truck that you're retesting. If you were not running a complete plate, so you were only running a certain number of tests, you can select, I'm running tests from A1 through H2, so you can pretty much select any type of data here on the plate to identify your samples. So we'll go back in and put in our farm sample and a cow. When you're done, there's a button here that says add. So you're going to add your plate. You're going to close the screen, and from this plate selection, we're going to select the plate and we're going to add it to be scanned. When we do that, it puts this plate, you can see the plate says, the name of my plate says example, and it's in the top left plate 1 position. And then we're going to hit the button that says scan. So once complete, it will give you an image of the plate, and it will also give you the interpretation. So we're using a numerical score from 1 to 10, 10 being the most positive, 1 being the most negative. So I'll show you in a minute how we set up the thresholds based on this numerical scale to determine what is a passing result, which is a failing result. And that all has been determined here at Charm Sciences. So you can see for this plate, all of our samples, all the dark blue or purples are positive. But if we scroll through, there should be a few samples that tested negative if we identify those properly. At the top, we have an option to say results. We can put the score, so we can superimpose the number that was identified for each sample above the well. So here in one of these yellow wells, we had a 6.5, and we can find that here on the screen, where 6.5 was right at the threshold level of our test, so that was still determined as positive. At the bottom of the screen, you can save the image of your plate, you can save your results to a separate file on your computer, or the archive feature. You can pull up any test result that you have, and you can search based on date or plate identification. And this is the plate that we just ran. We can, again, save the image, or we have an option where we can export the test results in an Excel file. So I'm going to save this particular plate results onto my desktop and put in whatever name you want, save it. And when you go back to your desktop or wherever the file was saved, you can now open those results in an Excel file. And at this point, you can further manipulate results by entering in further sample information. You can save this data, print it, whatever you want to do at this point. Okay, so to go back to the software, if we exit out of this screen, we go back, and we're on our home page. Under File, we have an option called Setup Cutoff, or Setup Cutoff Value. Here, and we'll get a closer view of this. So here we have a threshold that says what is going to be negative. So we have a value, any value between 0 and 4.5 is what's considered a negative value with our test. Anything that's positive is between 6 and 10. That's considered a positive result. And anything between 4.5 and 6 is what we call a doubt or a caution. So it's a borderline concentration that you as a user would have to make a determination in whether to accept that as a passing result, or knowing that there's a borderline concentration, deem that as a positive sample. So here you're basically just going to type in those values, set your thresholds, and then you're ready to scan another plate.